Hey, what's up guys? It's the episode 3 of our Land Rover Discovery build, and this time as promised we're gonna be installing a snorkel on it, so let's get to it. As you guys can see, we have our snorkel here, the cap and all the hardware to install it, and there are the tools that we're gonna need. And since all the snorkels are probably gonna be different, these are the tools that we're gonna use for this specific one. So we got the punch, rivet gun, which is the most necessary tool, hole saw, and those will be different in every snorkel probably, plastic clip removal tool, 10mm wrench, half-inch wrench, assortment of drill bits. And speaking of the drill bits, you're gonna need a nice drill, and of course angle grinder and tape, and of course don't forget about the safety glasses. Okay, so first order of business will be to tape the portion of our fender and then install the template that came with the snorkel, and it should be very straightforward because it follows the lines of the fender. And then we already cut the holes for our hole saw and the drill bits, and there are the instructions on the template. So let's mark the holes and punch them out so we can easily drill them. We got all the holes marked and punched, but before you start drilling, you want to remove the factory fender liner to see if there is anything behind the fender that you may potentially drill through and cause some damage. In our case, there is nothing in there, so let's take off the template and start drilling the holes. Now to the part that nobody wants to do, but somebody have to. Safety third. Let's drill the holes. Now onto the hole saw part. This will be a little bit more tricky, so you gotta be careful. And here we are, one hole behind us. Looks pretty straight, so we're gonna do another one. Whoa. Well, now let's move to the angle grinder and make this hole a little bit wider. Okay, now that we have all the holes made and cut, we're gonna move to actual installation, and we have this a little bit confusing part. So to install this, we're gonna have to remove this intake cap and this intake tube, and take a dab of silicone and put this like right here in between the fenders, and silicone this like right here, so our tube for the snorkel can attach to it and the water won't leak. Okay, save those little nuts, and you can remove this right here, and we need to add silicone on this side too. Okay guys, we got the Snorkel installed, as you can see, and it fits pretty good. The template was pretty accurate. The only issue that we encountered was those studs that were provided with the Snorkel were a little bit too short when you screw them in the Snorkel, so we decided to use M8 nuts or bolts and just bolt them from the inside of the fender with the provided washers, and that worked pretty good. It's pretty sturdy, as you can see. And the next thing was, as you can already see, that this snorkel is not the original safari snorkel, it's the cheap knockoff, you could call it, and it really didn't fit too good over here, and it was leaning a little bit like this. So in order to fix that so it doesn't hit the door, we decided to heat it up with a heat gun a little bit over here and bend it so you can really see that, and now it fits pretty good. We're gonna install the this bracket that's supposed to hold it here and then mount the cap, but before that we have to reassemble the intake. And we mentioned that we got this little part that was supposed to be silicone here. We did that and we reinstalled the tube. So now let's put the filter in, and let's put that back in. Clamp it down. And let's move to installing the bracket and the cap. So for this part of the snorkel, we use the supplied bracket and the supplied bolts, and for this part where the pillar is, they supplied rivets, but we didn't use those rivets. Instead we used a tiny drill bit and drilled the holes through the A-pillar and used those little metal screws and secured it like this. And on 4 of those screws it's pretty sturdy, so let me show you how we did it. So we're gonna use this little tiny drill bit and drill through those marked holes, and then use our metal screws to secure it in place. One. And 2. Now let's take those screws and just put them in there. Once we have that bracket all secured and we checked for clearances so the doors doesn't hit it, we can move to the most exciting part, which is putting the cap on. So we're gonna use this supply clamp and just put it on first and on top, and use our Phillips screwdriver for this one and just tighten it like this, and it's done. Would you just look at that? So after all the bolts are tightened and we checked for clearancing so the doors doesn't hit the bolts or the bracket. The bracket fits perfectly, and that leads us to the end of the snorkel install. We think it looks great. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. And just want to mention that as you guys can already notice, we got new tires, and those are Kenda 80 tires in 265/75/16, which is roughly a 32-inch tire. And you probably noticed that we left the stacked wheels, and we just like the look of them. I think they fit the build. They are pretty old school. We just installed a centimeter thick spacer to space them out a little bit. And in the next video we will be tackling our rocker install, the rock sliders. So stay tuned for that. Leave us a like, comment, or subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.